Good morning. I'm Joe Clark, Managing Partner of the Financial Enhancement Group. So happy to have you along with us. Hope you're ready for a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Obviously, the world economy does not slow down just because we have Memorial Day. But we want to say thanks to the troops, to those that have served. I've had family in every conflict the United States has had. And I thank you for what you've done. And to the ones that are serving now, we send our wishes. And those of you that are mommies and daddies, that got kids across the pond and serving, we thank you for that as well. Much to talk about in the world economy, also in the U.S. economy, as the U.S. market continues to make new highs. And Adam, our chief investment strategist, he's our CFA that's on team here at the Financial Enhancement Group, likes to say we now have our 81st confirmation that we're at the froth and the new high, and that the market should have a pullback. And obviously it's a joke. It's not 81, but almost every indicator we have shows that the market is at a place that just doesn't belong, and yet it continues to go up. Long said that markets can remain financially confused much longer than you can remain financially solvent. Anyhow, much to talk about. First, we'll get to the new fall. I think it's an interesting conversation. When you look at the earnings yields of companies, you're running at 6% right now, compared to a United States 10-year Treasury, which is yielding a little less than 2%. It's about 1.93 right now in an area. When you're seeing that number at 3 to 1, you're talking about earnings yield at a company that's not necessarily given off to an investor versus the yield that comes off of a Treasury bond that's actually delivered to the consumer. But what we have to do is compare the relationship. And typically, the earnings yield of a company is about 1.5 times to 2 times, not 3 times the yield of a United States 10-year Treasury. So again, we have an interesting time, and you can see from that chart a huge divergence in terms of what's going on. Now, why does that matter? Well, remember, we manage money with a process called a four-legged stool, and the idea is to be able to look at things fundamentally, technically, institutionally owned, and if you will, the macroeconomics of the story. We want to paddle downstream when we possibly can. Well, as we look at this chart, we can see there's a clear change that's taking place inside of what we would like to call a fundamental viewpoint or vantage point of an economy. This is actually saying that companies are healthier or that bonds are overvalued. Take your pick. It's one or the other. But we do believe in a reversion to the mean at some point in time. Those are the kind of things we watch. Moving from there to Japan, and this is critical. Remember, Japan has been in an economic slump, if you will, since their Nikkei peaked back in 1989. Property values peaked in 1991. That was a long time ago. And they've been in a period of little economic growth, actually deflation for most of the time, literally had negative interest rates for a while. Today, the new prime minister came in last year and said, listen, I'm gonna fix this. And he's forcing money into the money supply. It's driven the value of the yen down and driven the value of the Nikkei, the market, up. A lot of us would argue that's the same thing that we're seeing happening here in the United States, but it's clearly what's happening in Japan. Huge moves over there, big economy, still the world's third largest. So things that we have to pay attention to and watch. Rules to live by. Barry Ritholtz is a friend of mine. He writes The Big Picture. If you're going to read a blog, I would recommend Barry's as certainly one of those, as well as Andrew Thrasher, who is here on our team. You can follow him as well. But Barry says follow discipline religiously, and in this marketplace, I think that is key. We don't always share the rules with our friends. We have 20 rules that we share every week, one different week with the families that we serve. But this rule I thought was worth sharing and important. If you're out and about on Saturday mornings, be sure you stop by and catch the radio show on WQME 9 to 10. Sunday mornings, it's 10 to 11 on Shine 99. And of course, you can get our newspaper column either in the Anderson Herald on Sunday or right off our website at yourlifeafterwork.com. If there's anything we can do to be of service, please don't hesitate to let us know. God bless, have a great week, and a happy Memorial Day.